We're fucking in. It's Spotify time.
It's in. I thought it might be in, but I thought it'd be rude to ask.
We have commenced the sliding.
Ooh.
We
Hashtag just the tip.
we will not be pulling out for at least an hour.
Yeah, we're just going to carry on floppy. The
Till
first
it's
5 minutes is
chafing.
going to be incredible.
Yeah.
That next 55, it's going to be
It's gonna be
an
like
hard
trying to put a fucking Cumberland sausage through a keyhole. It's a mess. It's a mess. There's gonna be fucking meat everywhere. It's gonna be sloppy, greasy. There'll be
Have
a
you
smell
got
of pork.
pork round my handle?
Yeah, there'll be a herby smell of pork in the atmosphere when we're done. That's what I'm always aiming for.
Is that sage on my key?
If my bedroom doesn't smell like a butcher's when I'm finished, I've not done a good job.
You've done a terrible job, haven't you? Ideally, you want it to smell like the bin of a butcher's and the counter of a fishmonger's.
Oh, aye. That's my
That's the
ideal
dream
good time.
smell. What you want it to smell in such a strong way that it brings the neighbourhood cats to your garden. Where they're like, there's a bit of scrapping, they're like, there's scraps for me here.
Yeah.
And then you can just tell them, no, nothing for yous. This was just for her. And then she gets to feel good about herself as well.
So what this was for me. You created this brand new scent and experience just for me.
You've not washed it for a week, just for me.
Yeah, man, this is aged. I've aged this. This could have gone on anyone, but I treated you.
This could have dislodged inside anybody to give them a yeast infection. But no,
I chose you.
This is your UTI.
Oh, yeah, you are special.
Yeah. Putting the U and I into UTI.
From you to I.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, this might have all happened. This might all be in the documents, Jack.
Yeah, I know.
We're making up jokes
Anything
here.
could be in them.
We could literally be... we haven't hit all the pages yet. There could be an FBI document that says that he did have a room where there was specifically curated smell of butchers and fishmongers to attract the local cat population while he was fucking children.
Do you know when you're trying to find like a leak in a business or something, so you leak out different little secrets to see who releases that secret?
Literally, like
that would be a great one to make up if you think, I think someone around me is trying to sell me out to Epstein so he can find a way to cripple my business so he can buy it on the cheap. I'm going to tell them all different fantasies and then see which one presents itself to me.
There was literally that was proven to happen like last week or something like that. Like we were, I think it was Europe, giving away sort of secrets to or trying to find leaks to Russia via the US. So gave away a little bit of like information that was obviously a trap to the Americans that was immediately leaked to Russia. And they're like,
That's what you got to do.
We know where the hole is. But yeah, in this one, the entire roof is falling in. The foundations are fucked. It was built on quicksand. We are, of course, talking about the fucking Epstein drop, the latest Epstein drop. Don't worry, it's not all going to be this fucking decrepit foul shit. Jack's going to intersperse it with some fucking alien talk from Ike. Little bit of a palate cleanser between rounds.
Little bit of Ike. I've got a chicken news story.
Chicken news?
Chicken news.
This week might be a week where chicken news is really required because we are going to need some fucking...
I thought so, because I knew you was
liveness.
going to go heavy on the Epstein, so I thought, well, I'll find a few different little bits.
It's been depressing, Jack.
It also gives us a bit of violence. I've got a bit on Trump, which we can fit in, and something about TSA scanners. So
Fantastic, agree. Fantastic
I'll
gear.
fit them in where we can.
Where did I put... I can't be asked.
A game for the listener. Spot the segues.
Oh, right. Have you arranged that this week, have you?
No, but that's what we've just done there. In the comments, try and spot the segue.
Fantastic. Right, so... This all happened. I don't know why. I decided to catch up on South Park. I've not fucking watched it in ages. Exactly.
I've not watched it since, I think, the Adpocalypse part. No, the Tegrity Farms.
Yeah, right.
Episodes.
So this is the wind-up of Tegrity Farms, actually.
Okay.
Because we've come to the point where there's no time for Tegrity anymore. The time for Tegrity is over with. Before that, Randy did for a quick while try and launch his marijuana business as Tech Ready Farms and was doing ketamine like an AI tech boss and trying to sell things that way. Obviously, it failed. But whilst we're watching this, whilst I'm literally watching South Park actually fucking hit the nail on the head with recent affairs over there and like being like, this is all a shambles. You've got people to claiming they're acting in the name of God. The new age of Christians, which is just people who want to batter anyone, whilst saying they're going to do it in the name of God.
Yeah, but Christians have been bumming kids in like the name of God for a very long time. Well, I don't know if it's in the name of God,
ancient tradition.
There's something a bit weird about that.
I've got like it's something that all sides should be uniting over because they clearly all do it. Right, you all want to hear.
Yeah. What a way to bring them all together.
Yeah,
We're here to break bread, and we're going to eat that bread off this naked Japanese child.
No, there was no Japanese. He was not a fan. They had specific likes. There were certain people that were outright not allowed to be selected for the island, and he used a very heavy term. There were hard R's were involved. I mean, come on, we know that we've talked about this in the past that Epstein was on his eugenicist hype and like he had his science wing. Yeah. So like he wants a type. Yeah. He wants a fair, blonde, perhaps brunette, but usually blonde, Eastern European, what he would consider a pure breed. Mad considering Jewish bloke who loves, and I hate to say it, fucking it's difficult to navigate some of this without sounding a little bit anti-Semitic. It's not meant to be. These are an elite set of people that don't represent the views of Jewish people internationally, but his love
or even locally, internationally, not even in a small group. I don't think it. What do you mean internationally?
It is a small group.
It doesn't represent what they think internationally, but behind closed doors.
On a local council level.
Yeah.
Yeah, when it comes to traffic management.
In Glossop.
He loved tossing the word goyim about. Loved the goyim. Loved talking about, Like, he loved talking about how he's going to make money, how the Jewish world's going to make money while the goyim do all the work. We'll come to that bit later.
Okay.
The eugenics part we can talk about a little bit more first. Good place to start because some of the documents now, obviously, these documents can't be taken all as fact. A lot of them are like tip reports where they've got if a tip's given to the FBI or anything like that, they have to make note of this. So like that is a lot of these are just introductory reports, things that have been said or heard that have then had to be noted, made like.
It's like a rumour, or what's the thing called where you can get away with saying stuff and it's not libelous? There's a term. They do it for news bits like gossip news or whatever. There's a term for it. It'll come to me.
It will come. It should come to me because this is my field of sort of knowledge a little bit. But right, blind piece. A blind item is that's a little bit different. A blind item is like that's in gossip mugs where you go, this such and such, this high flying financier who's known to reside in New York and have his own special little island. Like it's a way of naming the person without fucking naming the person. Yeah.
Okay.
But in some of these documents, it's outright fucking proposed or claimed by victims, by apparent victims, that like Jeffrey was using that Zorro Ranch that we've talked about previously as a breeding farm, and like they were using women as surrogates, to create obviously babies, which is.
It was the hand movement that got me. Is it to create, and then for the listeners, so he said to create, gestured with his hand to make an open palm like he's swilling round a brandy glass, and then aim to the sky, babies.
Yeah.
I had to explain it because to the listener, I'm laughing at nothing.
Because I was going to say...
It was bizarre.
It was going to be very impersonal. I was going to say people, but like I feel this has to be a little bit personal. because it's the fucking most grim shit I've ever heard in my fucking life, if all of this is true.
Farming babies.
Farming bairns, which we've also heard there's like
Barnyard animals.
Barnyard, yeah. Barnimal farm, yeah, which is sort of applicable in this situation, given who was the author and what the fuck's going on. Anyway, regardless, you've also got talk now of fucking Musk having the same sort of, like, he's built a compound in Texas. There are rumours behind that also being his own little private little breeding farm for his birds and all the mums. But that's just fucking absolute unbased rumour. Getting back to Mr. Epstein. So he's farming birds. He's taking them off the mums. He's abusing the mums.
I think at this point in the series we can use first name terms.
What, Jeffrey?
Yeah,
Jeff.
we call him Jeffrey. Jeff.
What I like, we'll start with we'll have a little bit of humour, is in all of this darkness, there are some little bits of fucking fun to be found, and like it's clear that even the most heinous king of the nonces thought Musk was a fucking like bit weird and a shit crack. Like there are several instances of this. One where Elon literally messages out to Jeffrey being like, "Hey, lols, what the fuck? I love girls with a Z. Where's the party at? I'm basically like, I'm cool as..." Just typical Elon talking like a fucking Reddit user, using like fucking just forum speak to be like, "Hey, lol, where are the party? I love that girls. Would love to get down for some good times." And Jeffrey just immediately forwarding it to Ghislaine, being like, "Fucking deal with this stuff, company. I don't have time to fucking get this melt out of my life." And then she literally writes back to him being like, "Oh, we're actually wrapping up the whole party operation now, Elon. We'll let you know if we started again." Imagine pretending to close the doors on the largest nonce operation of all time just because you don't want fucking Elon Musk turning up. How much shit crack must that blow up? Were you happy to have Donald Trump, Peter Mandelson, fucking some of the Prince Andrew? None of these like jump out of being like great crack, and they're like, but Musk, draw the line. There's no way he's coming, which makes us think like how weird he must be. He's the person at the parties who's like, they've taken drugs before, but every time they take drugs, they're as if it's their first time. They're like running about. They're trying to get everyone, "Hey guys, let's all go outside and like make pictures with sparklers and get our pictures taken." They want to do stupid shit. And everyone's like, "Look, I've got these 2 7-year-olds here in a swimming pool. I've clearly got what I want, Elon. I'm not going outside because you think the moon looks like a wolf right now. Fucking calm down."
But what if what if it is something as simple as that? What if it's say like Jeffrey gets them there under false pretenses initially, being like, "Come over and we'll discuss business and we'll discuss this and that," and everyone else is like, "Oh, we'll discuss business, will we? On your secret island known for shagging kids?" And, yeah, okay, well, I'll come and discuss business with you. And then Elon literally comes to try and discuss business. Like maybe subtleties go over, maybe initially though, and then he turned up with a notebook and his attorneys and that, and like Jeffrey's sweating because this guy's brought attorneys and the equivalent of barristers, and he's like, you can't bring these other people, and no cameras, none of this stuff. This isn't what we meant. And then he's like, oh, subtext. He's like, "Yeah, mate, subtext. The unspoken."
I would like to agree with you, but there's literally an email that sort of explains that. So in one of them, this is Jeffrey reaching out to Elon Musk, being like, "Have you got any plans for New Year? The opening of the general, NY, it could be New Year, it could be New York. It's probably New York. Got any plans for NY? The opening of the General Assembly has many interesting people coming to the house." So he's reaching out, going, "Elon, what you doing? I'm having a party in me New York fucking house. There's going to be some interesting people there." And his reply is, "I run and lead product design engineering for 2 complicated companies. Moreover, SpaceX is about to launch what is arguably the most advanced rocket in history. Flying to NY to see UN diplomats do nothing would be an unwise use of time." In response to that, Jeffrey, do you think I am retarded, Elon? Just kidding. There is no one over 25 and all very cute. So he's literally had to do the exact, what you've just said. He's offered him a coded message going, oh, party, session at my house, kids there. Yeah. And Elon's gone, look, I run Tesla and SpaceX. I don't know if you've heard about me. I'm a very important man. I have an incredibly receding hairline, and it's only going to get worse the more important I become. And the more my ego is inflated, that it actually grows the top of my head. I'm busy.
Hair. That's what happens with bald people.
And that's me, bro.
The scalp just keeps getting higher.
That's me, bro.
And the hair can't break through.
Cornhead one day. Like the films. And fucking Jeff's had to go, you absolute fucking retard, lad. This is a burn party. I just didn't want to put it in so many words.
Saying under 25, though.
Under 24.
Under 24. It doesn't necessarily mean kids. We know it might.
We know it does. So,
what about if it's like no one under 24 pounds?
Yeah, we don't know. That could be kilo.
Oh. Kilo. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, kilo's much more.
Elon, we've got the eugenics program going on. We've got Elon Musk being essentially not wanted. We've got his falling out with Bill Gates. That's a fucking brilliant one. Bill Gates, things might be looking good for Bill Gates. It doesn't look like he was involved with Benz. It looks like he was involved with Russian prostitutes.
Oh, yeah.
Could be worse.
Why not?
Exactly.
Much worse. Could be.
It could be so much worse.
That's at that point. You've got to imagine they're probably a professional.
Yeah,
they might not have chose the job.
I've got the money. But I've gone to a service.
Yeah. But I mean, I imagine prostitution isn't legal in Russia. But,
well, you don't know where he had sex with them.
Yeah, it could be in Australia.
I imagine it wasn't Russia. Because I imagine they wouldn't then have it would be the Russians that had the leverage on them. Regardless. Gates shags Russian prostitutes set up by Jeffy. Gates gets some sort of disease, passes it on to his missus, Melinda, I believe. He reaches out to Jeff and goes, Jeff, baby, I got this rash. The missus has got it. Can't let him know I got it from the Soviet fucking hookers that you linked us up with. Thanks, by the way. Please sort us out. I need some tablets to put in a fucking breakfast. Jeff's like, whoa, I know I'm a doctor, but not that type. I ain't got prescription pads. He says he's a doctor. I don't know what the fuck he's a doctor in. It's like, it'll be maths.
Love.
Doctor of... That's dark as fuck, that.
He's really in paediatrics.
He really is in paediatrics. He's a paediatrician, which is a Nancy electrician. They'll come round and they'll fit really small plugs.
I'll sort out your outlet.
Yeah.
Up a little camera in there.
Are those wires less than 2 years old? I'm going to strip them. I'm going to strip them down. So they fall out. Epstein, as a result, is like, fuck Bill Gates. I'm pulling out of all my interests that I've got. I don't know if he had shares in Microsoft or something like that. He had some sort of stake in an organisation with Gates. Basically wrote to them being like, look, for whatever reason, I need to pull out of this business. And then as a result, Bill Gates does... This is something that throughout all of it, it's these like it's the instances like Elon getting kicked out the party and this bit that make me like sort of bring it down to our level where we can sort of comprehend, because as a result, to get back at him, Bill Gates goes, oh, not friends with me anymore, eh? Leaving me with the fucking Bernie Russian penis. How about I ban you from Xbox Live? How about you can't call people on Call of Duty the N-word anymore? And there's an email in there from Xbox Live saying that Jeffrey Epstein's account's been banned. I would love to have that fucking power. Let's be honest. Imagine most powerful person one of the most powerful people in the world, and you're going, oh, I don't want you enjoying fucking Forza. Nah, no FIFA for you, Jeffrey Epstein. No Ultimate Team for you.
It's Fable or nothing.
Yeah, you're playing single player. That's it. You never get to talk to anyone on the mic anymore.
No more Destiny. Fuck all.
It's fuck. I find that about right. Now, what we're also learning about Jeffy is I'm starting to think that some of this references to pizza are just references to pizza. Because
Some of them have to be.
and pizza, well, because at one point there's someone flagged an email where they ask for the pizza menu and then they send a website. And I've been looking at the website and the shop, and it is just a pizza restaurant in the island of the island where he lives.
But though, what about though on the reviews of that? Loads of 1 stars being like, ordered a Mediterranean pizza. What turned up was a pizza with ham and a bit of minced beef on, some chilies. Not very impressed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was more expecting an 8-year-old Spanish girl.
Yeah, it was too
1
hot
star.
to fuck.
Yeah.
This actually
Cheese
burnt
burned
my penis. CP isn't what it's cracked up to be.
Cheesy pizza.
Yeah. So, yeah, but he can't spell. There's not a single email.
No grammar either.
Yeah, he's
with
got
like
knee
capital
grammar.
I's or anything like that.
There's not a single email.
Which makes me think they're using Blackberries or something or along
Yeah,
those
he's just
lines.
not. He's a busy man. He's got one hand in a Ben, the other on a BlackBerry. He's constantly fucking doing stuff, using his email address without a VPN or anything like that. There's no protection.
Yeah.
We're all out. I'm using a VPN so I can watch fucking the last 2 series of South Park, Shady. He is literally emailing Benjamin Netanyahu from his home email address going, oh, love the torture video, by the way. That was good. Hope you're having a good time in China. Like, what the...
Oh, speaking of China... Just this week in the news, I thought it was a bit strange that Keir Starmer was like seemingly buddying up with the Chinese, and then a day or two later buddying up with the Japanese. Just seemed a bit like they might be looking at that going,
Well, we're trying to...
And it also it feels like, you know, like if you go to see a family member and then you think, should probably pop in on the other one as well. That
on the in-laws.
Yeah, I'll pop in on them and all because they're nearby.
It's on the
it
way
seems
back.
a bit like that. Like, wouldn't you be? I'd be looking at it like that. Oh yeah, we're only worth the trip from there to here.
I think this is more in response to... I legitimately think it's in response to the whole issue with Greenland and what it's causing with America. And that America is seen to be almost in some way doing Russia's bidding or just... trying to self-preserve and not care about any alliances they've got, like NATO. And as a result, we're looking at other options to safeguard our future. And the obvious choice is China. Get rid of visas. Let us go and travel and study in China for free. Let us get trained over there for free. Let us go and work over there. Establish some sort of industry links. Probably allow a shitload more Chinese students to come over here. Take out loans from banks that they never intend on paying back after university, fucking off back to China. Tried and tested method that I watched happen at university. There was one lad in first year who was driving about in a fucking TVR that he got from a loan. And I used to get the loan letters through our door, and I'd be like, you owe thousands, and I know you're just going to go home, man. Fair play. Why the fuck not? But, yeah, I think that is we're playing the game because we're like, whoa, shit. America's not being pally with us at the moment. We're usually like best buddies. Looks like things might be fucking be splitting up, so we've got to go and see who else about. Xi, Mr. Ping, excuse me. Love what you're doing over there. Love the social credit stuff. Love Team U, banging. Love that woman who makes engines and sells them on Instagram. Really good.
What a woman.
She sings about them. Amazing.
Yeah.
So we need more of that. Could she come and do an appearance at Nissan? That is just us sorting shit out. That's just us trying to probe, see where we can get some deals done, see where we can secure some energy. No Chinese people mentioned on the Epstein list. No Chinese, no Russians. Always good to know that they're probably doing it in-house.
Well, that adds into the whole conspiracy thing, though, as well, of you've been told is evil and bad. It could be the good people. Because that's usually the case in a film. When
no one's good.
Constantly being told, they're bad, they're really bad, they're awful, they're terrible, hate them. Usually in a film, about, 3/4 of the way through, you figure out, oh,
that's why.
they're not actually bad. Yeah.
Well, I don't... I don't think they're in any way good. I think that they are they are different systems of and ideas of how the world should operate. There are conflicts, but I do think that a large part of it is diverting them away from the bigger problems which are at home. Don't think about these domestic issues that are happening on your doorstep. Think about the enemy that's far away that could get us at any time because we don't know about them because they're far away. Don't think about the fact that devilish people are actually running your life.
Devilish. Oh, they're devilish.
Little blighters.
Oh, little devils.
Little blighters.
Speaking of films, though, it's not one of my purposeful segues.
Okay.
I've watched 2 of the Days Later films, or whatever you call them. 28
Oh, yeah?
Verse. Yeah, 28 Days Later. Quite enjoyed that. I think it's very well shot. Feels a bit experimental as you're watching it, which I liked.
Oh, it was groundbreaking at the time.
Like, the way it's shot, I really enjoyed. The way it tells the story as well is quite good. I know it uses Gillian Murphy or whatever. Cillian?
Yeah. One of his first films. Well, his first
uses him as a plot device in a way to teach us about the world. That's why he wakes up at that point. But I thought it was a good way of doing it.
That was a perfect
Whereas
way.
28 weeks later, bit poor.
Right, so 28.
Also, and I noticed something interesting as well. 28 days later, very interesting, very avant-garde, I guess you would say, like out there. Everything about it felt for the time it came out, it felt like the guy who made it just had an idea and went, no, we're going to do this bit like this and this in one shot and this like this, and it's all complicated things. Whereas then the next one felt more like set pieces. And I noticed in the first film, loads and loads of adverts for Pepsi. Second film, no Pepsi, just Coca-Cola. And I wondered if that had an influence over the way the film was shot and produced.
No, the thing that had an influence was the fact that it wasn't done by Danny Boyle and is it Alex Garland? The second one. The second one was done by American director, American writer.
Which is why it felt very American.
Exactly. Now that all changes for 28 years later. It goes back. Good. It's Danny Boyle and Danny Boyle. Yeah, and Alex Garland again. Okay. So it goes back to that frantic parts handheld camera, like rushes, nothing. Then rushes,
like
big
Steven
senses
Seagal
of
film.
Yeah, big senses of big parts of like scenes of silence. Those big open panning shots of like hills. Whenever you see an open hill in 28 in the 28 verse, you know a shit ton of zombies is about to come over that hill.
Yeah,
most picturesque scene you've ever seen.
Like, the first 5-10 minutes of it, that felt like it was similar to the other one, and then it just fucking went.
It's good, rails. But it's not. It's definitely not fucking. It doesn't belong in. It doesn't. It couldn't be. It can't be held in the same regard as the others, by any means.
No, it feels like it could be a completely different film, and they had it already, sort of, and they went, let's just add that bit on the 5 minutes at the start, and then it becomes 28 days later too.
I think more so they just knew they could milk it a little bit, and they just had to stay a little bit true, but could make a more American film for a wider market, knowing it would sell because of the success of the first one. Now we're going back to the island, boys.
Island.
We've talked a bit about the funny side, the characters. We've talked a little bit about the eugenics. Well, let's get into...
Do you know, with the eugenics, though, do you know one of the big... Go a bit of Ike for you.
Go on, then.
The eugenics side of science, and do you know why that is? In the word according to Ike.
In the book according to David. Carry on.
In the book of David.
The book of David, yeah.
Basically, the eugenics thing is to try and find a vessel, a creature that can perfectly link with the Archons, so that the Archons can use AI technology to interface with this world using a human body.
Yeah.
That's supposedly what the whole point of eugenics is, with all these people and what's going on behind the scenes. That's what, according to that side of conspiracy, if you like.
See, it could be explained much simpler in that it's what they deem God's image to be, or the most pure to be.
It's not the most pure. It seems to be what would be easiest for these archons to use.
Yeah, this is what
Archons
no.
being like
What I'm
ghostly
saying,
reptilians.
what I'm saying is that's Ike's explanation. I'm saying what
Okay.
the understood explanation is.
Okay.
And what we actually look to gain from like Epstein's writings himself when he talks about like exactly that when he talks
I
about
get what you mean.
eugenics and he talks about his understanding of intelligence and that some people are
They're
set
not.
to
It's not
work.
like they're trying to make centaurs. Do you know what I mean? They're not trying to make monsters. Yeah, they want
But
it to be what they think is perfect.
what one of the things or some of the things that have come to light from the emails is how much he was involved in geopolitics and how much he was involved or rumored to be involved in like the destabilization of countries like Libya. There are literally emails about that show Jeffrey had an associate like discussing plans to extort Libyan officials and like seize state assets. So basically, like, and this was before Gaddafi had fallen. So like they were already lining up how they were going to carve things out, and they were also analysing and like looking into what sort of power plays might arise from like taking out Gaddafi and who might be looking to claim what and how they can deal with that. Before Gaddafi fell, talking about how much money was there to be made, that there was like 80 billion in frozen funds and assets. Saying
And they
that
thought they could get like 10% of that by trying to scrape it back for other companies and who owed the money, and then they would get 10%. Is that them emails?
A little bit, yeah. Also talking about like crude oil and natural gas reserves.
Yeah.
There's friends with MI6 and Mossad willing to help identify stolen assets and get them recovered, which is a nice way of putting it. So, there's stuff over there we can actually take and say is ours.
He's kept my ball. I kicked my ball and it went over his fence. He's kept it. There's a few others in there as well. We should take them from him.
Yeah, and also talking about the amount of money they can make from funds to rebuild the economy and rebuild the country after they've destroyed it. Which is like, and they're so callously talking about it. Same with the shipping futures thing that when I was said that he was.
Yeah. So what is
referring to
shipping
people.
futures?
Shipping futures are like sort of. It sounds. I'm gonna sound like a fucking idiot any way I put it.
Can I guess? Can I have a guess first? A serious guess, not even taking the piss.
Yeah.
I think it would be the equivalent of like hedging, where you're saying how many imports and exports are going to come from a particular country.
It's sort of. It's speculating on the volatility of future freight rates for dry bulk and tanker vessels.
Right. Wow. People will gamble on anything, won't they?
Literally. So this is almost this is.
Because that can't change that much. The idea that could fluctuate, because you'd have to impact somewhere along the trade route.
Think
to
about
impact
right.
it,
So here's an interesting
which
thing.
would give a good reason for them random little proxy wars and terrorist attacks.
Do you know what else it would give a good reason for? What happens when the Suez Canal blocks?
Yeah.
It absolutely ruins global shipping. So imagine you've bet
Fuck!
against.
I've pressed the wrong button on the app. I've said that I think they're all going to lose money. Bollocks! Block off the river.
Capsize that boat right now.
Close the river. Yeah.
I do not care if there are 50 million litres of oil that are going to get tipped into the
E12.
sea.
E12.
Sink my battleship. Sink my fucking battleship right now.
Sending cryptic texts to people that you know will have voted upwards, being like, I am on D4 and E4.
So there are basically there's emails between him and Roger C. Shank, who is we've talked about him previously as well, involved in all of this. He's like one of the godfathers of AI. He's an artificial intelligence theorist, a cognitive psychologist, a learning scientist. Learning scientist, right? Isn't that every scientist? If a scientist has got to the point where they've stopped learning, then aren't they just a twat, an arrogant twat? It's like, I know everything.
I would argue most of them are.
We know that.
I don't think many of them learn anything as actual learning. I think they just learn what other people have told them is true.
Okay.
I also read about a doctor the other day, a scientist, who was called Dr. Learner, which I thought was a great name.
He was
nominative determinism.
He was destined to go. I bet he's never passed his driving test.
No.
Never.
Oh, he's got them L plates on.
So this bloke was he pioneered conceptual dependency theory and case-based reasoning, both of which challenge cognitivist views of memory and reasoning. A bloke about the brain, a bloke of the cranium, a man
The
of the
grey matter
cranium.
man.
Yes, the grey man. So he's emailed him about fucking shipping futures, being like, "Oh, we're gonna make a ton of money off shipping futures, whilst the goyim do all the real work, like the shipping and the building and sourcing of everything that goes on the ships and everything involved with the ships and the entire industry surrounding them. They're gonna do all that work, and we're just gonna make the real money, like billions, off betting."
Gambling on it.
Yeah, and potentially ruining lives. And
But
like,
if you're gambling on it, who's putting the money up for that? That implies that there's someone bigger. Because if you go into the bookies, you put 50 quid down on a team, another person puts 50 quid down on the other team. You don't just get their 50 quid. You either get a fraction of that 50, you get the 50 quid you put down plus a fraction of it back, or you get the 50 quid you put down plus loads more. So this implies that there's someone above all of this with a huge pot of money where this can be dabbled into and out of. And it also implies that by gambling on this, you're putting more money into that pot for whoever's above all of this.
you are seeing it as a straight gamble, where it's probably more where it's more like a bet with the person straight up.
Okay.
So like you can buy,
Or maybe on the results of that. So if this country starts exporting loads of gold to over here, then over here is going to be able to spray that gold into the atmosphere to protect us and protect the aliens from the sunlight and that. So if I invest in this country where I think they're going to buy the gold, and I invest in aluminium sprinkling into the sky so that they need more gold to spray into the atmosphere, I make more money on that. Would it be more like that?
for the ease of smoothing out this conversation, I'm going to say yes.
Lovely.
I'm not entirely.
It's nice to get a win.
But it is so. There's the destabilization of Libya is talked about. There is the. I'm trying to find the other fucking examples of like geopolitics, because there's so much more.
Well, it's funny you say example there. Speaking of eggs,
Okay.
there's Cynthia Souza in Key West, Florida. Right, I've got a name.
Brilliant
and
segue
a
there. Is this
location.
Epstein related?
No, it's egg related. Because
Fantastic.
you said that something that sounded like egg that I've already forgotten. She a problem arose that we've all heard of since a child. A chicken crossing a road, and it
Not
ruined
again.
the life.
They need to stop with this shit, man. It's getting dangerous.
It got very dangerous for somebody. This, so it's a mint little story which I think you'll like while you're looking for the notes you need.
Yeah.
And so she stopped to let the chicken cross. Nice woman, nice Cynthia, nice Miss Souza. The car behind got really pissed off. The driver, obviously not the car, that'd be mental. That'd make it sound untrue. The driver behind got pissed off, started beeping the horn, and then overtook the woman, running over the chicken, killing the chicken. And Cynthia just seems to have just lost it there at that point, chased the guy down, followed them, blocked them off on the road, like yourself when you kicked in that headlight.
Don't know what you're talking about.
Last week.
This no. I don't know what you're talking about. This is a Spotify.
If you want to know about that, patreon.com/Troof.
Yeah, if you want to know about crimes I've admitted to, at least fucking pay £3 towards the court proceedings. You know what I mean? Don't give them away for free.
Right. So she did that. She blocked him off. Got out the car. Tried to get him out of the car, screaming, shouting. He wouldn't open the car. So what she did was she, through the driver's side window, she maced the driver with bear mace.
Sick.
Yeah, and then the police found her not long after, and she was arrested for aggravated battery and burglary with assault or battery.
Okay.
All over the sake of a chicken that she didn't even know.
Does she? She's just a defender of the chickens.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of that. I like that.
I think she went a little bit overboard.
What, that she bear maced a man?
Yeah, she
Man.
over-egged the reaction. It was a little bit much. It was a bit far. Do you not think, block him off, kick the car. There's something like that, but...
No, I don't see a problem, man. Look, we're in a world where we've got fucking we got people in uniforms with bandanas on their face shooting women in their cars for doing fuck all.
I suppose.
Let a woman bear mace a man over a dead chicken.
I suppose it's annoying if
think
you've stopped and you've gone, I'll do a good deed. I'll be good. I'll let the chicken cross. Go ahead, Mr. Rooster. Off you go.
Yeah.
And then someone else is like, nah, fuck that. I'm going to kill that chicken. Like, that would annoy me. But it would annoy me an awful lot more if it was my chicken. And that could just be my lack of empathy. And whatever you want to call it. Autism, sociopathy, whatever the right word is. But I think, I don't know, for a chicken you didn't know, it just seems...
Nah, I'm with the chicken here, mate. I've had enough. I don't like it I hate it when people don't stop for zebra crossings. Does me fucking head in.
Yeah, that's annoying.
I hate it. What I hate
Did
even more.
Did you used to like standing at the crossings with a button and just press the button and then not cross and just stand there and stare at the drive?
I do the opposite. I would, when the road's clear, I press the button before I cross. And then I walk straight away and press the button on the other side once I've reached the other side. So it definitely stops after I've gone. Then I know I've just fucked with someone for no reason. But
I
what
used to
I'd like
watching it though and standing there and staring at the driver after pressing it. I used to love doing that.
What I like even less than people not waiting for zebra crossings is people who kill jokes, and they've literally killed a joke because we will never find out why the chicken crossed the road.
Well, now we've got to find the other one's going to have to cross to go and visit his flatmate. That's what's going to have to happen, isn't it?
For fuck's sake, man. Yes. I don't know how to segue
Chicken in
this.
a casket.
I don't know. Fuck. Chicken and bits. Just chicken and bits. We're going back. There's no segue. We're going back to the big numbers. Right, Peter Thiel. We got to him. He's in here. Of course he's in here. Of course he is in here. What are they talking about? They're talking about what we discussed on here a couple of weeks ago. The Dark Enlightenment. To a degree. They're talking about accelerationism without using it in so many words. So the discussion is...
I know which ones you're referencing now. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, when Jeffrey's like, Brexit, just the beginning.
Yeah.
Peter Thiel's
the whole tribalism.
Yeah, Peter Thiel's like, what? Of what? And then Jeffrey replies, return to tribalism, counter to globalisation, amazing new alliances. You and I both agreed zero interest rates were too high, and as I said in your office, finding things on their way to collapse was much easier than finding the next bargain. They are literally talking about there, us collapsing so they can buy up everything at discount price and make a ton more money. So, like, this feeds into what we've talked about Curtis Yarvin, Nick Lane, the cybernetic fucking culture, techno massive crew, and their views on dark enlightenment and accelerationism, that's literally what they're talking about here is accelerationism, is like letting the world burn out, and they're using Brexit as an example, ruin the current system so they can come in and create a new system. Although in this matter, their creation of a new system is a redistribution of wealth where they have it all. Which then becomes some sort of monarchy again. But they're determining that they will be the people at the top of the fucking helm when everyone else falls apart. And this was back in, 2016. So, we're talking fucking
so
9 years ago.
Brexit.
No, this was on the eve. I think this was on the eve of Brexit, it was on the eve of Brexit or the morning after, I believe. I was in Spain when this happened. I fucked off for the vote. I was like, I don't want anything to do. I know you want my opinion. I'm out. I'm done. But he was involved in just the destabilisation of so many instances across the planet. It's fucking ridiculous.
Like a Forrest Gump, innit? But
no, it's worse. Because Forrest Gump was like a fucking... Yeah, it was an accident. It was like he blundered his way through different scenes. This bloke here, fucking the new mayor of New York, the one that everyone, all the fucking left are buzzer and he's going to make a socialist New York. His mum, mates with Epstein. His mum, film director, His dad, Mahmoud Mamdani, was brought over on the same CIA-linked Airlift Africa, aka the Kennedy Airlift project, that Barack Obama's CIA asset father was on. That's not really part of the link. That's just a little sprinkling of trivia to go on top.
Garnish.
But Zoran Mamdani's mother, Mira Nair, she's a filmmaker. She attended
Lovely
a party.
name.
Yeah, Mira Nair. Lovely name,
Mira
right?
Nair. Lovely name, yeah.
Attended a party at Ghislaine Maxwell's townhouse alongside Bill Clinton and Jeff Bezos in 2009. This was after Epstein was convicted as a paedophile in 2008. And there's an email that says that she left the event after 5 a.m. So like she's admitting that she details how she was at this party, met all these people, as a result for this film. You can't tell me that off the back of that there's not some sort of links there with Mamdani getting in as mayor as well. And all this shit about fucking everyone was opposing Mamdani, then as soon as he gets elected, wins the vote, Trump's fucking having meetings with him and they're being pure pally because they're all on the same fucking team.
Speaking of Trump,
go on.
4%, according to a Daily Star article, it can be said that 4% of people in the UK currently believe that Trump is either a zombie or a hologram.
We could hope.
Which
that is the best case scenario.
Some people think he's been resurrected from the dead and then taken over by some form of artificial intelligence.
That is literally that's the best we can hope for. Because,
you think?
Yeah, because at least if he's not real, then this isn't being done by a human. The worst case scenario...
But it'd be getting done by a committee, which surely is worse. If you could get a committee to agree to some of these things, surely that's worse, that there's a team of them going, yeah, we'll do that.
No, because there's always a team of shady people. We know this now.
Yeah.
Not only have we done this for long enough, but everyone before us has done this for long enough, and there's so many records that at the top, based on greed and the fact that greedy people will always make their way to the top and then use that corruption to control, there will always be twisted people at the top. So we know that there's always string pullers. If those string pullers hide behind like what is essentially a character, then we know that character is a result of the string pullers. Okay. If those people hide behind a person, not only do we know that the string pullers exist, but we know that the person who is acting on behalf of them doesn't have the balls to say anything against them and or agrees with them. So we're actually in an instance now where the worst case scenario is that Donald Trump is just is a human being, because then that means that all of this is actually true.
Well, if you want a poster child, though, you do want someone who's into it, don't you? Because then the smile's genuine.
Yeah, you want someone that's. I mean, in a way, Biden was the perfect one because he was aware, but how much was he aware of anything? Like, you have someone who's that sort of just hanging on mentally, but also plied with enough fucking painkillers and like nice fucking muscle relaxants like you're on right now, and anything else that could just make you sort of semi-aware, but you're not quite there. You're present, but you're not here. And like, so you can be coerced and you can do all this shit without it eating you up inside. I don't think that's the case with Donald. He's clearly complicit as fuck. Biden, not in any of these emails. Going back
to some of, like, you could take some of the theories of Ike, though, there, from his research. You could say that if this person is forced into that situation, maybe they're very empathetic or whatever, and they're forced to do these things, so they would feel fucking awful. And there's things that suggest like the White House and important places like that are built on points around the world where the ethereal barrier, or whatever you want to call it, is weaker. So these creatures can feed on the guilt and suffering of a person. If you were to get someone very empathetic into that role and then put them into it, and then they're forced to say and do these things, or for all we know, he could stand there and say, I'm going to do everything I can to make sure everyone's got enough food and drink for everybody to eat and drink and survive. I'm going to make sure that taxes are going to be topped at 5% because we've got enough money and we can make money from blowing up other countries. Don't you worry about it. We're not going to bother yous. But then the news and everybody else might dub over that and make him say whatever he's going to say anyway, whatever he's been told he's got to say. We don't know that that doesn't happen. So to have someone then who's very empathetic there and torture them and make them feel bad like that would then feed into like the Archon theory.
How?
Because they feed on these emotions. They need that. That's their sustenance in the fourth dimension. That negative feeling and feeling that bad. And imagine like you could make that person feel like shit because they thought they were getting into a job to really try to help. And then for some reason, people imagine that people keep falling for that, thinking that that's going to help them and they're going to help the world, but they don't help the world because then they're forced by the puppet masters to say what it is that the puppet masters need them to say.
Yeah.
And then they feel terrible whilst living on the ley lines where they touch, or whatever these systems are, like ethereal systems. And they cause that pain and agony to as many people as possible.
All right, counter question for then. In your universe, because one of the things that does happen when people go into power is they age quickly.
Yeah.
Aye. And like a lot of people would say that obviously that's the weight of the job. We could say
getting their life source sucked out.
No, we could say that it's all the grim shit that they've got to come to know about and they've got to have some sort of saying. What about Obama aged so quickly because it turns out the aliens are racist, and they were like,
"He's just got to keep putting up with them."
You got this one in. You've put this one in power. Well, we're not gonna We don't want him to speak for us, but he's in the job, so he's got to do it. But he's not allowed to the meetings. He has to sit outside the entire time, and he basically just gets bullied about. And it's just because aliens are racist, which I imagine they would be.
It would be insane. I think it'd be insane for aliens to be racist. I think they'd hate us all equally. I can't imagine they'd come down here and be like, these ones, love these, great, love them. Can't get any better than these. The Chinese absolutely adore them.
They would definitely be their favourite. Are you kidding?
These ones,
the Chinese would be their favourite.
These ones over here, awful cunts. Don't want anything to do with them. Harass them. Do you know what I mean? I can't imagine they'd do it. I think they'd just look at everyone and be like, you're all worthless. You're all my worm.
Yeah, but you still favour some worms to others.
And that's why there's a caste system, because a worm's pile is called a caste.
Is it?
That's why, yeah.
Fucking A, he's making links, man.
Yeah.
He's making links. Right, so, yet again, we're diving back in. Where else has he had his fingers? Tommy Robinson.
Thought he was going to say Tommy
Stephen
Walsh.
Yaxley. Stephen Yaxley Lennon. Oh, the EDL. Or was it called the English and Israeli Defence League before it was called the EDL? Check in company's house. I think you'll find an interesting piece of information. So, Tommy Robinson. Steve Bannon, if you remember that name, used to work with Trump for a while, for Trump's first presidency.
Okay.
Bannon was a key figure. Bannon was like an intelligence gatherer for Trump, a little bit of a right-hand man. There is an email exchange between him and Epstein talking about our very own Tommy Robinson, where he basically goes, where is it? They use, in quoted commas, inverted commas, the backbone of Britain, a backbone of England. And Steve Bannon says he is cheap at any price. So they're talking about how they can use...
But does that not mean he's very valuable? By saying something's cheap at any price means that they are really valuable.
Yes, because he is.
It's not an insult.
But they're showing that he is a tool.
I suppose.
It doesn't matter that he's an effective one, but they're showing he is a tool. They're saying he can be... And you got to think who's doing this. This is people who are typically acting, although I would say I'm starting to believe that like Epstein isn't strictly like a one agency agent. Like, I don't
I
think...
thought you was going to say I don't think he's actually evil.
I don't
thought
think
he was
he's
gonna be
Asian.
He's more of a chaotic
I
neutral.
actually don't think Jeffrey Epstein is Asian. I don't know why, but
I'll tell you what, Jimmy, I've
away.
never thought he was.
Really? I
Never.
was confused for a while, but I think I've finally sorted it out, and I don't think he is anymore. But no, I don't think he's acting on behalf of one agency. I think he's acting on behalf of the world of finance, and then that then brings in those agencies. So brings in MI5, MI6, MI5, brings in Mossad, brings in the Secret Service, whoever. The FBI, like, there's so many cover-ups. There's fucking examples of, like, judges shot in Mexico that were working on sex ring cases that Epstein fucking pals were involved in. There's so many instances of different countries and like different security services fighting with each other, like FBI agents killing other agents over like issues in these emails.
Look at what like the CIA has been involved in historically: gun running and drug running. That's two big examples there, and two of them work concurrently together in order to be able to fund each other, which makes no sense anyway, really. But you've got to think other ones might not have the infrastructure to be able to do that to make money, but they might be quite good at sneaking around, killing people. So you've got to imagine that some secret letter agencies are like, yeah, we'll be assassins for hire. Fuck it. They'll pay us this amount of money, and then we can use that for some off the books operation, so that we can do this other thing that we really want to do because we don't like our neighbouring country.
Guns for hire, maybe not, but if it works in their interest, if it works in their interest, and you've got the money to put up. So they won't just do it for one. It's got to be both. You can't just be a gun for hire. There's got to be some sort of payoff for them that isn't just money. Obviously, money's good.
If you own, say the three-letter agency owns, if you like, that band of operatives, and it's like, well, we won't do it as fucking the I don't know, I make one up, the FAB. We're not going to do it as that, but we'll supply you the weapons that you need and the transport that you need to nearby, and then you're on your own and you go and do this. This is the job, go and do this because, you don't need to know why, but, we now know why because someone else needed it doing so that they could get something from them. Because he seemed to broker information.
That is literally, he's a broker of everything. Information, power, like taboo fucking... Like, what could we call it? Contraband as such? What a cruel
children.
Taboo
That's
contraband.
Awful.
That is
might be one of the worst things we've said.
Yeah, Colin Bairn's taboo contraband is a bit fucking...
Yeah.
I might have hit a new low there. But yeah, he I don't think he acted on behalf of any one agency or any one country. I believe he acted on... He might have been... Initially, he was put into the world and set up by some, and then grew larger than that and managed to just become just a go-to figure for people, and was that heavily collected that no one agency could have control, but every agency had leverage against them. He had leverage against them all. So like, because all he has to do is fucking use be an asset, do what they've said, until he's got to do it for like some of their guys, and then bang, he's got information and leverage on them, and they just add to everyone else. He's like, well, I'm a freelancer now, baby. Let's get rid of that contract and open me up. Let me go and get amongst the ranks of any agency, do what I want. I'm the boy. Now, an interesting thing, some points, couple of quick points. There are emails there talking about or linking to the death of Mary Kennedy, RFK's wife, who apparently killed herself. Apparently killed herself is the official fucking judgment, but these emails are insinuating that fucking she was assassinated.
Oh,
that's a good one. Love to throw that in. Pusha T and Jay-Z mentioned in the fucking emails, which is Jay-Z. He's hip-hop Illuminati. Him and Beyonce are on some weird shit. I expect that.
Pusha T.
Right? But there's also a video a few years ago from our favourite boy Kanye talking about specifically mentioning Pusha T and Jay-Z, and said if they would tell the truth about their lives, they'd be in jail.
All right.
Now that is an interesting video. I don't know if that's
Kanye put out that
his apology.
Yeah.
That's a weird one, right?
Yeah.
The apology's a weird one. We might look at that in another episode because it's a strange one. But could it link to this? Could it not link to this? Don't know.
I think everything links to everything, though.
I'm starting.
Everything's becoming like 3 steps to Kevin Bacon, except Kevin Bacon might be child nonsense. Not as in like the actual
Jeffrey
guy.
Epstein. It's the 6 degrees of. It's the 6 degrees of fucking Jeffrey Epstein. Genuinely.
Yeah.
In the world of elites, because here's some more random names. Right, Peter Mandelson's in it. We know that.
Yep.
Bloody hell, they're trying to take me out via cough.
Yeah.
Peter Mandelson is in there, talking about him a bit. There's that money went to him. There's also talks that there's also emails that essentially suggest that he bullied Gordon Brown out of his job. That he was one pushing Gordon Brown, wanted rid of him.
And I think he was one of the best prime ministers we had.
Well, this is possibly why, because he was trying to actually be a British Prime Minister, not acting on behalf of these, and Mandelson did not want anything to do with that. So there are emails alluding to his bullying of Brown, trying to get him out the job, and then there's an email sent to Epstein on the day before Brown resigned, basically being like, I got him today, I cracked him. That's it. He's fucking fuming, he's livid. Lad, he's bouncing off the walls. Lad is fucking gone off his rocker today. And then the day after Gordon Brown resigns. Mandelson emails Epstein during Ronaldo's rape case. When Cristiano Ronaldo was accused of rape a few years ago, while he was playing in England, but I think the rape occurred in America, Mandelson reached out to Jeffrey Epstein over Ronaldo's case. What the fuck?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Like, what sort of connection is that? Which now drags Ronaldo in. I'd never liked Ronaldo anyway. I've always thought he's a bit weird. And the whole rape case, which fucking can't ignore. But that is another fucking weird little fucking tangent to go on. 4chan. Fucking 4chan. Moot, the founder of 4chan, the owner of 4chan, linked up with Epstein. And then almost, or soon after their meeting, and they continued to meet afterwards, soon after their meeting, 4chan launches /Pol, which is the fucking politics page on 4chan, the page that's responsible for most of the conspiracy theories that start on 4chan, QAnon, fucking everything, the Michelle Obama being a bloke, all the rad shit, especially right-wing shit that gets circulated on the internet that started on 4chan, started on /Pol. This would suggest that /Pol was some sort of managed psyop disinformation to be like, pump this shit out there so we can constantly fill the world with these crazy theories, whether people believe them to be true or not. They either cast doubt, they influence, they destabilize, they delegitimize, they poke fun at, and therefore they make the victim of all that, powerless, and they can't come back from it. That seems like, in conjunction with Ghislaine Maxwell possibly being the most prolific Redditor of all time. What in the fuck? That basically almost would suggest that the entire sort of online world is controlled.
Internet culture.
It was
Meme
controlled.
culture.
It was controlled by them too, to some degree, which fucking blows the roof off of everything. Like, imagine you are stopping any reporting or any sort of investigation into your evil doing by just factory, on an industrial level, pumping out conspiracies into the world and having them repeat and just spread.
Without the conspiracy, though, look at the way journalism's changed now. Realistically, is how many people will click on your article and how many adverts can you have on that page to make money?
Yeah.
What if they were behind that, being like, you could put some adverts on there? Well, because did they fund internet advertising in any way like that? Because
I
then
don't believe so.
that would alter. Oh, okay.
I don't believe so. I mean, quite possibly, but that doesn't seem to be their wheelhouse. That they're above that. They're making far too much money to deal with like fucking the penny adverts that you make on fucking clicking on a website.
No, but they are not saying they want the money from it, but that would influences journalism.
To generate.
Yeah, by making that as a way to generate income as a journalist and making newspapers and journalism make money in that sense rather than selling newspapers. Because there's got to be there's somewhat of a coincidence between page 3 being removed, like with tits, no tits, and internet journalism having adverts in. Because I imagine
related?
a lot of people were buying I reckon a lot of people were
so.
buying newspapers to have a cheeky tug in the toilets at work, and then they were like, "Oh, the newspaper's like, oh, we can't show tits anymore.
I would put it
to
you that the people, not even just the people buying newspapers for page 3, not even just the ones that are using it to wank at work, but the ones specifically buying newspapers for page 3, weren't using 4chan or Reddit.
I'm not saying they were.
Or the
I'm saying
internet.
they then stopped buying the newspaper. So the newspaper companies needed a new way of making money to build back what they've lost because they've lost all the perverts like that. So then they're like, we need another way of making money. Oh, we can put adverts on websites.
No, you replace it with extremism. You replace it with you replace it with articles that elicit any sort of emotional response. So what you got with the page, because the page 3 was essentially like with all news, an emotional response. Oh, horny.
A titillation.
A titillation for the soul, for the mind, for the penis, for the peen, for the Gucci area.
Titillation for the tip.
Yes, tipulation. Yeah. So newspapers are just a bit like Instagram and like social media.
Imagine if they went, look, we're not having any more 18, 19 and 20-year-olds on there. We're only having 35 to 45-year-old pregnant women.
I'd love that.
We're saying that's okay.
I'd love that. Give me a soon-to-be MILF any day, mate. A woman in her prime.
Pre-MILF.
A woman who would smash a KFC bucket with us. No problem. I
have an idea as well about Epstein. Because I know what I've just said has derailed everything. So I'll get back to Epstein.
There are no rails. This isn't a rail system. We've bouncing from spot to spot on the map like some sort of teleportation device.
Like some pregnant woman on a bouncy mattress getting rattled.
With a bucket of chicken in her hand.
Yeah. Wings everywhere.
Oh,
drumsticks
my God.
on the floor.
It's only so bricked up I can get, man. Calm down.
Dip it in the gravy. Dip it in the gravy for me. Oh my God, that's the hot one.
Now the beans. Right. Now the beans.
Do the beans. Put the corn in there. Go on, I bet you can get that corn's going to be nothing compared to that baby's skull.
Please stop. Now, go on.
Right, so what if every now and then Epstein's got to have met someone, or his cronies or whatever, who was just unbreakable, who they were like, this guy, his vices is literally just going and putting money on the horses. He's not interested in cheating on his wife, he's not interested in blowing up a country, he's not interested at all in genetics or anything like that. He just likes a flutter on the horses. We can't break him. But my argument is, because of Epstein's notoriety and what he's got now as well in death, the supposed death, is surely if he then just became mates with him, and maybe he was like, you know what, you're actually interesting to me to hang around with because I can't influence you so much, and we do have a good laugh every time we're together. Let's meet up every third Thursday. And then he just starts doing that, hanging out with him, just being pals, no weird shit, because he knows he can't influence him in that way. But then everybody else sees this guy's with Epstein, so Epstein's got to him, so we can't trust this guy.
Well, I would imagine this is the thing. So that definitely happened, or I'm not going to say it happened in that sense. So he wasn't purely out for nonsense. So, like...
No, I didn't think he was.
It's clear he had extensive fucking involvement in the world of finance. So there were obviously people that were involved with him purely from a financial standpoint. They were in it for business. He was also donating or investing a lot of money into the world of science for various means. So obviously, people from the world of science, Jack's enemies, are going to go to them because they need fucking coin and they need people who are interested.
Do you know why they call them doctors? Because they doctor information.
There we go.
That's where that's what we learn.
He's secured the tinfoil hat. It is on the head. So obviously people are going to go to him because he can bankroll. He can bankroll fucking scientific experiments for them. He can get machinery. He can put them in touch with other people, whatever. So there is this issue where anyone involved with him is going to be tarred with the nonce brush. However, there are also, on the flip side, going to be people that go, well, I was only there for his resources, when really they were there for the nonsense.
Yeah, and then the rest of it's
a difficult one, right?
Well, is there anything I can do for you? That was lovely. That was a lovely 3-hour session there with toddlers. But is there anything I can do for you? Have you got a brush? Need anything brushing up? I can do that for you. Come here. You know, like at the end of a party. Do you know what I mean? Just like, do you want me to tidy up? Go on. I'll shove these cans in the bin for you before I leave. Go on.
Do you know what? I'll order the Domino's because if there wasn't enough cheese pizza here.
Yeah. I actually feel like all this mention of pizza. I'm
hungry.
Starving now. Yeah, it's got me. I've worked up a right appetite in there with them teenagers screaming.
But it is a risk.
You know, do you know how much energy it takes to work through the screams?
It's like when you're fucking if it comes to exam times and you realise that the lad who smells, who no one likes, is actually really fucking good at maths, and you're like, I should probably partner up with him because I can probably work better. And then you're only with him for his mathematical fucking know-how. And everyone's like, oh, you're friends with Stinky Pete. I'm like, whoa, no, I'm not. I'm just learning maths off him.
See, this has made me kind of sad there because I made loads of friends towards the end of school.
Yeah, but you weren't good at maths, were you?
I was great at maths.
All right, that should have made sense, actually.
Yeah, I'm good at maths.
Should have made a lot of sense. How good were you at English?
Great.
Okay.
But I wasn't allowed to be in a decent set because I was disruptive and a nightmare to have in a classroom.
That was me and I was in top set for everything, but I was also a fucking nightmare in every lesson.
Yeah, they won't put. I got put in the bottom set that I could be. I
leaded from the rear of the room. Commanded classrooms from the rear. They were my first audience.
Yeah, same.
The entire lesson was how many jokes.
But for me, it wasn't. It wasn't for the whole room. No, for me. It was just for the 4 or 5, 6 people around me that could hear me if I spoke quietly.
Yeah.
Just to make little quips, just to ruin it for them.
So, back in with the grim shit. I hate to do it. Well, light shit first. There is one email, one picture, screenshot that's in there, which appears to be like a price list for drugs.
Okay.
From his dealer. I think people are mistaking this and saying it's from him. It looks like it's from a dealer. Now, what I will say,
Does it say reloaded anywhere?
What do you mean?
Well, all the dealer texts we used to get would say reloaded.
Oh, does it stocked up?
That's how it would start.
Just stocked up.
They'd all start reloaded, and then you're like, oh, okay. And then it'd be whatever they've got. Right,
this doesn't. This is actually printed out on almost a spreadsheet. It's like an Excel spreadsheet printed out.
Right.
Now, it gives you a little bit of an insight because some drugs they get for pretty cheap, like a gram of coke, $65, gram of pure, $100. That's all right. But then half a gram of ket, $60. It's 20 quid for a gram over here. That's extortionate. And we know they ban ket as well. A gram of ket in a vial, $160. That's a fortune. You can get them for 50 quid. Half a gram of DMT. $120.
What a crazy thing to do on the island.
Oh, no,
unless it's not, because if the island's built on somewhere where the ethereal plane is quite light, so that all the torture can feed the beings, you're going to have...
No, I would say that you got to think the sort of people that are going there... again, this is something that fucking Randy does in South Park in the latest series, which is fucking perfect. All the tech bros now are doing ket. Elon doing ket, fucking all these, to see the code and understand Bitcoin, you have to do ketamine, I think. You have to spray it like in a little scooshy bottle rather than doing lines. They've got the little liquid squirted up the nose. I'm in a hole. I can see the numbers. I can see Satoshi Nakamoto right now. So they're bang on the liquid K. I can imagine they're smashing that. I can imagine they're smashing DMT in the island because you've got to admit some of them will be in this, and Jeffrey included if he's on his eugenesis fucking hype. They've got to think that they're like in touch with higher beings or the highest fucking dimension of man, that they're on this mind expansion would make a lot of sense. And it'll also probably, they'll be the type of people who take psychedelics and get like some sort of superiority complex, as if they haven't got one already, and they can be their gods.
Just feed into that.
Yeah. But then at the same time,
that's what a lot of drugs do anyway, innit? Just amplify something that's already there.
They're paying $11 for a single Valley.
Seems a lot.
Valley's a quid. Never paid more than £1 for a Valley. What the fuck they talking about? Mandy, half a gram, $80.
Bloody hell.
Not a session on there, canny expensive. So what I will say is this.
Does that not influence what? Surely that could also be. This shows what he wants them to take there. Because I imagine you're a bit more pliable on ketamine.
No, because it's not his list. It's just a list of drugs. It's just a list from a supplier.
With the prices, I suppose.
Yeah, but it's a supplier's list. Like, it'll be sent from the supplier. It's not... This is the thing. I think people are mistaken in assuming that Jeffrey Epstein made this document. No, it's just a picture of a list. So that's the deal is giving it to him, I would imagine. Now, other grim shit before... Oh, an interesting one. Trump has maintained throughout fucking all of this that, well, first off, he's never even met Jeffrey Epstein, so there's one. But what he certainly didn't do was meet Melania through Jeffrey Epstein. He certainly did not meet Melania through Jeffrey Epstein, which is mad because there are pictures of Melania with Jeffrey Epstein and Brett Ratner, who is a film producer and director.
Sounds like he'd be a wrestler.
Before she met Trump. And then there's also emails from Epstein to someone else talking about Trump, saying that when he met Melania for the first time, he just kept coming out of the bedroom that he was in with her, going, what a hot piece of arse, and then going back in the bedroom. What makes this
That'd be a mental thing, though. Imagine a normal person doing that, because what would the woman be thinking? The woman would be like, what the fuck is going on out there? Why is he doing this?
Different world. I don't think they would. There are certainly, and I've seen this myself, there are people that don't mind that because they are in an ideal position. What? So you've got a billionaire going out to tell.
No, I mean take away the billionaire thing.
Yeah, but
if this was just at a party. No, yeah. I know, but it's still no, because
I have literally witnessed this, and I've witnessed people being happy about letting everyone know at the party that they've just shagged.
Okay,
like there are just people like that. Not to say Melania was like that, but I'm just saying that your rule doesn't work for everyone. However, there are pictures of Melania with Jeffrey Epstein and Brett Ratner all cuddly, very close, before she met Trump. Brett Ratner, interesting one to bring up. Who directed Melania's documentary film that came out this week?
I'm going to hazard a guess at Brett.
Yeah, none other than the bloke who had pictures with Melania before she definitely didn't meet Trump through Epstein.
Madness.
What the fuck? Oh, he's also the director of Paid in Full. He's also the director of Paid in Full and a bunch of other
films. The Eric B. and Rakim song.
The film about them that came out a few years ago.
Oh, I didn't know there was a film.
Yeah, good film.
Oh. I'll try and watch that.
What were you going to say?
You would, though, if you had a friend, like a close friend, an old friend who's a director, you probably would want them to direct the film about your life.
Yeah, but if you were trying to avoid claims that you had met these people before you were with your current husband.
I suppose. Yeah, because people might look into that.
You don't have to look into it, it's obvious.
Yeah.
So many links. They've driven us. I've tried to stay away from the grimmest shit because the grimmest shit is out there for you to find. But to give you an example, I am going to bring this together with something. I do have something to explain in a second that I think is what this is all an example of. But some grim things before we come to the end. Trump admitting to the disappearing of a 12-year-old girl, threatening to disappear another and kill their family. And this isn't from like a tip line. It's not one of the FBI tips. This is from sworn testimony from the victim. I personally witnessed defendant Trump telling the plaintiff that she shouldn't ever say anything if she didn't want to disappear like the 12-year-old female blank, and that he was capable of having her whole family killed. I was personally threatened by Mr. Epstein that I would be killed and my family as well if I ever disclosed any of the physical and sexual abuse of minor females that I had personally witnessed by Epstein or any of his guests. I am coming forward to swear to the truthfulness of the physical and sexual abuse that I personally witnessed of minor females at the hand of Trump and Epstein, including the plaintiff, during the time of my employment from the years of 1990 to 2000 for Epstein. I swear to these facts under penalty of perjury, even though I fully understand that the life of myself and my family is now in grave danger. So that's the last saying. That she was literally threatened with death.
Do you know what that's made me think of there?
Yeah.
How good it would be to do a conspiratorial blankety blank.
Yeah.
Because you got blank at the beginning there, so you get some redacted files.
That's mint.
And then you've got a celebrity panel of conspiracy theorists. So you've got David Icke, Linda Moulton Howe, Gordon Rochford, the guy from the Eamon from Monster Fuzz, and Scott Abrams and others, right? And they've got to come up with the word, and then the contestants there going, "Oh, I think it might be paedophilic. I'm gonna put paedophilic in there.
Satanic.
Blip, 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 blip. Saturnalia."
Yes.
And you got to see if anyone else has got the matching one in the crowd. I think that'd be a mint TV show.
Back to the grimness.
Yeah.
There are reports of a 13 to 14-year-old having to give Donald Trump oral sex. She bit him, allegedly. She was hit in the face after she laughed about biting him. Then she was abused by Epstein.
Fucking hell.
There were in this same. This is from the list of tips. Complainant claims to have a video of high-profile sex parties, dealings with cartels, and having witnessed Robin Leach strangle a young girl to death at a party. Notable names on this one: Donald Trump, Jeffrey Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell, Robin Leach, who is some sort of prominent figure, I can't remember. But the Sinaloa cartel are also mentioned in that. That's an interesting one to link the cartels. The Sinaloa cartel, Mexican cartel, one of the biggest drug traffickers in the world. More sex trafficking. Complainant reported participating in orgies that some girls went missing, rumoured to have been murdered and buried at the facility. Complainant reported being threatened. The facility suggests it's the Zorro Ranch. And there are lots of rumours about bodies being buried around here due to...
Speaking of bodies being buried, have you been seeing all this mad shit online about how, like, with cemeteries, saying all these, like, suddenly online, all I'm seeing at the minute is people that are being like, there's no cemeteries being built, and the reason why that is because the bodies are being bought up by McDonald's. And these people are genuinely scared, bro. Like, really.
What?
They're really scared, the people I've been seeing online talking
what
about
are happening
this.
with the bodies?
They're being used, according to these people online who were very nervous, they're being used by McDonald's and other fast food restaurants to produce food for us.
What, they're grinding up humans?
That's what they believe. That's why they think there's no cemeteries being built.
Yeah, that's
but it's like a genuine. It's one of the in quite a while. One of the ones that seems to be getting the most fear I've seen online.
Don't we just bury bodies on top of each other now?
Yeah, because they crush down from the weight of the dirt and rot.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
And we burn a lot of them because it's so much cheaper.
That's it, yeah. And it's cheaper for people as well. You don't want to pay for a fucking plot.
Then there's an angle of it as well where people are saying, but we don't know that people are being burnt. They could just be taking that and burning something else and giving that to us. And then the way that people, I've not seen it for ages, man, where people are in the comments properly winding themselves up about this thing, which just seems so easy to disprove.
But that's it. You will always find the really dedicated who believe in something that does seem batshit will be the most fucking vocal about it. Because that's like, otherwise they have to admit to themselves that there's holes in it because it's fucking crazy. You don't want to do that.
I suppose.
So you have to, the ones who have bought into it have to be fanatical because it's that batshit of a theory. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess. Like how they tried to do with Flat Earth. But I think that was a thing to make people not like Flat Earth. That seemed forced
I don't think so.
at
I
that
think
point.
it
I
was
think
just
it was a way to force conspiracy. Because if you look at the timeline of events of the world, I think that came into the mainstream at a perfect time to be able to slowly drip feed and introduce the idea of Epstein and his importance and all the other conspiracy theory. It sort of broke the wall down, broke the veil, if you like, so that more stuff could seep through. Because other conspiracies, you can't really put a lot of other conspiracy into mainstream because a lot of it will have racial connotations at some point, whereas Flat Earth doesn't really. It'll link into the Nazis if you go into certain avenues of
it
it, but
does.
it doesn't have to touch Nazis and Nazism. It doesn't need to. It can stand alone without it. Whereas a lot of other conspiracies that would
But I
affect
think
the
that's
modern
why
day.
I think that's why it became so widespread because the implications don't have racial.
Exactly. It's like conspiracy light.
Yeah,
And
so
it's a way to introduce the mainstream to conspiracy.
yeah, but that's in the same way that the Masons is as well. The Masons is as well when people just say, "Oh,
Masons,
33."
there's loads of race to it, though.
Not on the surface to people that are just getting into it.
Okay.
So you understand things on a much deeper level than the average person who's like, "Oh yeah, they're all Masons. Oh, they're all the Illuminati." They just use that as a throwaway term with no real knowledge of what that means.
Okay.
Flat Earth is the same. That is just a surface level that people can get involved in because it's also something that they observe with their eyes and it's something they see with their eyes and don't understand with their head why their eyes are seeing what they see. Whereas other conspiracy theories actually require looking into things. Nobody got time for that.
I suppose.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Now, speaking of Zorro Ranch and the possible bodies that were buried there, an email from, I believe, from a bloke called Eddie Aragon, who would be possibly a candidate for the Republican Party, some sort of worked with Fox News, and he is trying to be a congressman for New Mexico for the Republican Party. I think he ran for mayor of Albuquerque, which would make sense. I think that's where the Zorro Ranch is, that sort of area. This is an email to Edward about Epstein, or from Epstein, don't know, not from Epstein, but anyway. This is sensitive, so it'll be the first and last email depending on your discretion. You can choose to take it or trash it, but this comes from a person that has been there and seen it all as former staff at the Zorro. The material below was taken from Jeffrey Epstein's home as insurance in case of future litigation against Epstein. Sorry, no questions. What is damning about Epstein is yet to be written. Did you know somewhere in the hills outside Zorro, 2 foreign girls were buried on the orders of Jeffrey and Madam G? Both died by strangulation during rough fetish sex. Here's the video footage of Jeffrey Epstein. Number 1, link, 30 minutes 57 seconds, sex video with a minor. 2, 27 minutes 3 seconds, threesomes. 12 minutes 54 seconds, threesomes. 19 minutes 22 seconds, underage girl. 7 minutes 31 seconds, underage girl Matthew Mellon video. Matthew Mellon, another prominent American figure, can't quite remember why. 23 minutes 48 seconds, underage girl rape fantasy video. 15 minutes 19 seconds, girl from Bay Area suicide attempt confession to Madam G audio. Please arrange this 1 Bitcoin by 6 p.m. EDT today, Thursday the 22nd of November 2019 to the Bitcoin wallet address. So there's someone blackmailing there.
Because you've also sent, but because you've sent them child porn as well, so you can say they've got that.
That doesn't matter. Not at this case. Not at this fucking level.
Yeah,
mate.
but you sure
we know that doesn't matter.
Because if they're powerful enough above to be like, it's not going to affect us, but something's got to come of this. So let's have them punished. Because they didn't do what we've told them. We've put that on their computer. Do you know what I mean?
No, that's not how that works. Because you could say that's just been sent to a legal team for a legal team to look as evidence to judge a case and whether they're going to proceed or not. That's no, it's not just planting it on their computer.
Okay.
But it's examples of, again, that's just what appears to be almost like a blackmail email, but I have evidence of all this wrongdoing here. Pay us to fuck off. Now, what this is all coming to, and we'll wind up with this, a semi sort of serious point, and that is the theory or the concept of the psychology of exhaustion.
Okay.
Do you have any guess as to what that could possibly mean?
But by just wearing people and resources down so much that people are more accepting of bad stuff because they keep getting inundated with bad stuff. And they're used to the resources being low, or so they're told, so they're not after more. And they're used to hearing such bad things that psychologically they're more accepting of the bad things, and those bad things become normal. That would be my guess.
Almost absolutely spot on. Not so much in a resource sense, but like this is purely on a sort of psychological control sense. So it's grinding people down until they become like almost apathetic to control, and hyper fragmented in like how they see things and what they deem as what is actually happening. So like it's a mechanism of power where you do exactly that. You just flood
like
people.
dropping the bombs in 1984. They keep bombing their own place so that people are accepting of the control to keep them safe from them bombs.
Yeah, pretty much. And this is also a little bit, in a sense, it could possibly be related to hypernormalization, which Adam Curtis discusses in the documentary Hypernormalization, when he just talks about Russia constantly moving the chess pieces and how their sort of political advisor, the bloke who used to be in like the arts or whatever, used to be in theatre or something, who like helps Putin dictate his plays, advises him to like back completely different groups, so you never know where their politics actually lie. So you're just constantly flooding the people with news that is contradicting and contrasting, and never lets you know their actual stance, but constantly plies on information and news and like things that an opinion. Now, psychology of exhaustion is similar, but like you say, it's like draining people with this information. So it's a flood of contradictions. So like all this information coming out, Trump's name all over it. Trump coming out and going, "I've never even met Jeffrey Epstein. I don't know what you're talking about." Barefaced lies, like things that are like constant incoherent information as like a strategic distraction. Knowing that the people are going to be left confused, and knowing that like to a degree they're being lied to, but they want to believe in parts of it. They don't know what to believe in. They don't know what is lies, what they want to be lies, what is definitely lies.
Like a general conspiracy theory, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
You pick and choose the bit of it that you're interested in.
What you do is, instead of having people fight the actual problem, which is you, or the corruption, you create micro conflicts. So you create like all these little points that people can fight over, like ICE, or like
pronouns.
Yeah, pronouns, or gun control, or anything. Any of abortion. These little issues. Abortion, great one. Religion, great one. Immigration, another one. Childcare centres, Somali childcare centres, anything like that. You just constantly create other points that people can fight over, and not only fight over against each other, that create infighting. So you can then fragment the groups further. So what you're trying to do is not get rid of one general opposition.
But yeah, because you need them fighting amongst themselves in their own team, so that team never actually gets anything done.
Exactly, and then what it does is creates...
Like that guy you told me about years ago called, I want to say, was it Thomas Green? The guy in London.
Which one?
Who was... He ended up mad on heroin, and the MI6 were constantly trying to get involved in his underground movement.
Was it Mark?
Green? Was it Mark Green? Spate.
No, not Mark Spate.
It's been a while since we've mentioned him.
It's not. It's the fuck. Was it the bloke who pissed on the steps of, like, the homeless bloke?
I think so. He wasn't initially homeless, but yeah, I think so.
Pissed on the steps of MI5 or MI6?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, fuck.
You used to bring him up a lot.
I did used to bring him up, but his name's like Captain Mark something or something like that. That's going to do my head in. We'll find that out off the air. Okay. I've just Googled pissed on MI6, and the first thing I'm getting is Pornhub piss on steps porn videos. So we won't click them. I think it's Mark something.
They've still got to make their money though, haven't they? No one's buying their albums anymore.
So, yeah, pissed on steps. Oh, is that what they're doing now? Pissed on steps by 5 men. It's 5 who do it.
It's just 5. Yeah.
So yeah, it's creating
liberty sex.
It's grinding people down and fragmenting groups till the groups fight amongst themselves and separate further, whilst the absolute power at the top just consolidates and gets stronger.
But that seems to be what's happening anyway. Where if you look at what's considered right leaning and left leaning now,
it's swapped.
And centrist as well.
Especially in America at the moment, it seems to have swapped. Far off. The right wing are loving electric cars now because Elon Musk got them. The right wing are actively fighting and promoting the use of weapons against their own people for not committing crimes. The left are literally acting as conservatives in America now. It's fucking weird situation, but again, this is all part of it. You're saying this is what happens anyway.
So no one knows where they are or where they were.
Yeah, but you're saying
someone for 20 years.
You're saying this is what happens anyway. No, it's not what happens anyway. This is what's happening now because this has been manufactured. This has been engineered.
Because the Republicans and the Democrats have swapped back and forth on their beliefs quite a few times.
Yes, that's different. No, I'm not talking about the swapping on beliefs. That's changed over the years on our side as well between Labours and Tories for years. Ethics and morals and what's considered as for each have swapped, yes, but this general sense of constant blurring of the lines to a point where there is no definition anymore, I would argue, is not what's happened anyway. It's a direct result of all of this meddling. This hasn't happened naturally. This has been constructed. This has been engineered. This control, it gets to the point where we no longer are controlled by the actual people at the top. We're controlled by ourselves. It's internalized because we start to question everything. We distrust ourselves. We distrust our ability to extrapolate and discern information. We stop believing in ourselves when it comes to our ability to be knowledgeable about things because we've been lied to that much and confused that much that we wonder, well, what the fuck do I know? And I must be the stupid one. This is what
self-censorship as well. I wonder if self-censorship being implemented 100%. on Facebook, if you like, and YouTube before monetization was really a big thing going on like 10, 15 years ago. People would self-censor on there because they thought that's what they had to do because they were told their boss might look at it in 10 years' time.
I don't think it's what people would I think people just thought they didn't want that. Not because they had to, but there are just people in the world that don't want people to see sides of them. Not because they deem it like, oh, we've got to do it. No, there's just people that are reserved. There are people that have...
See, I think people were doing it because they felt they had to.
Nah, you've got people through the years. There are loads of people that have opinions that you would never know unless you ask them outright because they're reserved.
I suppose.
Not everyone just shouts their shit into the wind. Just fucking idiots like us.
Yeah.
With microphones.
And if you want to hear more stupid opinions, that's patreon.com/truthseeking.
Yeah, well, I've just sorted all the episodes out after Jack fucked them up. What I will say...
are now all on there.
What I will say that we have been proven right about, yet again, no mention of Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
We're not backing him. I'm not a fan of him. I just don't think he was in the cool club. And this is sort of proving it.
How do you get then the symbolism of the apple in there? Like the apple's supposed to be temptation and that's a bite of a tempted apple.
No, that comes from... does this come from his daughter?
Is it to do with Snow White?
No,
Take a bite of the apple and fall asleep.
No, I don't think so. So the bite was to make the silhouette recognisable as an apple, even when scaled down, ensuring it wasn't mistaken for a tomato or a cherry. So it's got nothing to do with biblical symbolism. It's got nothing to do with like fucking forbidden fruit.
Oh.
It's got nothing to do with touring. It's got fucking nout, really.
Yeah.
I don't
Fair
believe.
enough.
Jack,
Well, I do believe.
You do? Fantastic.
Yeah, there we go.
Have you got anything to lighten the mood before we finish? Because, fuck me.
To lighten the mood, well, we mentioned
Mark
in
Fisher.
a recent Patreon. Go on.
Is it? No, because that's the fucking music critic.
Fisher kind of gets us to my thing, which is nice. That's a nice little coincidence. It's like this has all been planned out, listener, but none of it's planned at all. Sorry.
Go on.
So in Patreon, you mentioned something which I called concurrent programming, where you see something on the news at the same time as it's in a big film or a big TV series. Now, I can't remember what it was you were talking about, but a very recent example of it is to do with sharks. A Netflix film called Under Paris, which is apparently about sharks and sharks getting in the rivers, I assume, around Paris and under Paris. Which, again, if you like conspiracy, the rivers under Paris are what's quite possibly responsible for Princess Diana's death, but that's something for you to look into yourself.
Why? Quick, before you can't just leave us on that.
Because of the river, there's a river underground, just above where she was killed, which is supposed to be able to harvest psychic energy.
All right, okay.
And that's why she was bred. She was bred to be able to have her soul harvested there.
Makes sense. Makes complete sense. She looked like it.
Well, a real shark, at the same time that came out, there was a real shark spotted in the Thames.
Yeah, well, they're just coming about, man. They're coming about. It's clean now. They're having a mooch, now it's clean.
Well, that's just an example of concurrent programming.
You reckon?
Where they get you used to the idea and introduce that idea, and then suddenly it's there. Like, a weird way to look at it would be you could link all of that in many ways to like simulation theory, where it's like, there's a new update, and you play a game that you've been playing for 5 years, and then suddenly there's an update, and to introduce this other idea, they've also added in a couple posters that are to do with the DLC they've added around the map, which weren't there before, but now they're there, and they look like they've always been there, and you've only just noticed them, even though the update was 2 months ago.
Yeah, I get you.
It's a bit like that.
So the person you were thinking of is Tom Palmer. Tom Palmer, the activist who died from a drug overdose. He was paranoid over state surveillance, and he was, and it, legitimately so, because he was worried about undercover police officers who infiltrated protests in Occupy, and it was happening.
Yeah.
It was legitimately happening. He went by Agent Kingfisher. That's the fucking name I was trying to think of.
Fisher.
Yeah,
Don't know
Kingfisher.
where I got Green then. Don't know who that was. Just made it up.
Fuck knows, mate. Fantastic. But patreon.com
Yes.
/Troof Seeking. More of this, please.
It's in the description. Look on the description.
Give us a
Leave a
little
comment if you're listening. And also, because nobody knows this yet, we're on YouTube.
Oh, yeah, do that.
We're actually
Follow
on
us on
YouTube
that.
now.
Give us some likes
follow
on
us on YouTube, subscribe on there, send the links around.
We hit 100 soon, and I have a better laptop now. So all I'm going to say is, if I can be asked, 100, maybe we start doing video.
Maybe you see Jimmy's face.
Maybe you see Jack's penis. Get the Patreon.
Maybe